they been cramping my style all week. Craving chocolate treats, checking pants, checking seeds, sipping herbal tea and fight for menstrual equity. Jeez, man, I kick Cramp's ass. 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 You're now tuned in to the Kick Cramp's Ass podcast with your host, Brittany Walker, advocating for menstrual equity, period poverty, and womb wellness. New episodes on Menstruation Mondays.
Happy Menstruation Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Kick Cramp's Ass podcast, where I'm your host, Brittany Walker, and you've made it to Season 2, Episode 25, where we will be talking about Pilates for periods. All right, guys. So let's definitely get into today's episode. Now, September is PCOS Awareness Month, which is Polycystic Ovary Syndrome. It is also Yoga Awareness Month, hence why we're doing Pilates for periods. And September happens to also be Sexual Health Awareness Month. So all month long, we will be advocating for these dates, giving you guys ample amounts of resources and tools that you can use. And we also want to give a shout out because September 15th to October 15th happens to also be Spanish Heritage Month. So we want to give a shout out to all of our Latin and Latina individuals and also amplify menstruation for these individuals. All right, guys. So today is Monday, September 9th, 2024. You know, we like to kick off each episode with the I am power statement. I representing inspiration, A representing affirmations, and M representing manifestations. And today's I am power statement is, I am recognizing the restorative and healing benefits that yoga could contribute to achieving optimal womb wellness. Ashe. So there it is. You know, we also like to give a quote of the day. So today's is, the nature of yoga is to shine the light of awareness into the darkest corners of the body. And that's by Jason Crandell. So in other words, yoga is going to expose where you need healing, restoration, where you need assistance at in your body. If your body is having a reaction in a specific area, or if you are experiencing like an illness or an ailment, yoga will let us know those areas within the body. All right, guys. So we're going to take a good sip of this Cramp elixir that we have, and we're going to cut to a commercial break, and we'll be right back with you. Have you tried our bestseller, the Cramp elixir? It's our herbal tea blend designed to reduce and eliminate menstrual cramps, PMS symptoms, and other uterine health issues that are hindering your day-to-day progress. Our elixir may decrease inflammation, reduce stress and anxiety, regulate blood flow, balance your mood, and it can kick Cramp's ass. It includes a variety of herbs including hibiscus, red raspberry leaf, calendula, motherwort, ashwagandha, plus more. Head over to kickcrampsass.org and grab yours today. Now, back to the show. Welcome back for that commercial break. We hope that you guys enjoyed it. So let's talk about Pilates for periods. All right, guys, P4P. We have launched our fitness and mindfulness program that will offer yoga, Pilates, meditation, and breathwork resources in honor of Yoga Awareness Month. Now, we wanted to supply an additional service that caters to all your wellness components. So that's mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, but also to cater to womb wellness. Now, we will be releasing new workout videos every womb wellness Wednesday. And then we will also be releasing meditation videos, and those will be released in time for the new moon, the full moons, and to provide you with top of the day, which some people like to say their morning routine. We don't really like using the word morning, but top of the day, and then before bed meditation options. And you're probably thinking, what does the new moon and the full moon have to do with your cycle? If you don't know, then there are 13 menstrual cycle phases 13 menstrual cycles that a menstruator will experience in a year traditionally. And with the different phases in the moon, there are 13 as well. So they are closely related, closely tied in. You will even hear people say, oh my God, I'm on my cycle. A full moon may be out and they might feel super magnetic. They might feel like they're having an awakening. They might have all these amazing ideas come to them. And that's what we like to call like that period power, right? So we're going to be definitely offering meditation surrounding the new moons and the full moons. And then for when you first get up in the day, we want to be able to give you 5-10 minute quick options that you can do to help you get started with your wellness routine. Because like last month for National Wellness Month, we have divulge different ways that meditation is helpful for amplifying your different wellness components. And we've talked about meditation also in the past. So we just want to give you actual videos that you can utilize instead of trying to do it yourself or find somebody else. If you're already tapping into Kick Cramp Sass and what all we have to offer, this is just an additional resource for you that will actually be complimentary through our Pilates for Periods YouTube page. And you'll be able to access that page from our current Kick Cramp Sass YouTube page. And I'll be sure to put the information in the description of this episode. All right, guys. And then also breathwork videos. They will be sporadically added to teach you the power of your breath and how it could positively impact your wound. And you're probably thinking, why do I need to do breath work? It's the same way with Lamaze class. And if you don't know what that is, that's like a breathing technique. It's these classes that when you might have seen them on TV or something like that, but you see the pregnant woman going to the Lamaze class, she might have her partner with her. She might be there with other moms, but they're teaching them how to breathe and how to use their breath properly to aid in the delivery process. If you start experiencing contractions, if you're experiencing any type of discomfort, they teach you different ways of how to utilize your breath work. So it's going to be the same thing, but we're going to be catering to your period cramps, bloating, if you're having any type of mood swings, hormonal imbalances within the body. We're going to help get you to regulate those things. All right, guys. Now, why add a fitness and mindfulness program? You're like, okay, you have a book, you have period products, you have workshops, you have this podcast, you have menstrual therapy. If I wanted to come in as a client and help you let us help you figure out your menstrual journey and how we can make it more manageable for you and getting rid of any ailments or any things that are hindering you throughout the process. But we had to throw in fitness and mindfulness. These are very essential in a wellness routine, and it's something that we actually implement as well. So yes, we talked to you guys several times about the importance of physical movement and getting movement in daily, minimum of 30 minutes daily. We've talked to you about how Monday through Saturday, or roughly 6 days a week, we will engage in yoga and Pilates, in addition to, our weightlifting, our HIIT training, cardio, if we decide to go hike or run, swim, whatever. So we want to be able to give you additional resources, not just telling you what we do, but actually giving you a resource to use for yourself. All right. So with this fitness and mindfulness program, we're going to encourage daily movement. So we're going to have different wellness workouts, routines. We're going to have shorts and things that you can go to get quick content, or if you want to have time to yourself to set up in your house, in the comfort of your house. If you want to connect with a friend or family member, you guys get together and do these workout routines and additional fitness and mindfulness content. We have it at the accessibility of a mobile device. If you have a smart TV, if you could download YouTube to any other device to watch, you will have accessibility to this content. So again, to encourage daily movement is one of the reasons why we added it. Secondly, to support you in conquering your menstrual cycle journey. We can't just sit here and tell you, you need to read this book, you need to look at this resource, you need to cook this recipe. We want to give you all these different resources and tools that is really going to cater not only to your wound wellness, but that's going to be your overall wellness. That's going to help with chronic illnesses in the future, your mental health, your emotional wellness, by embodying your spiritual wellness and heightening that as well. And then once you have all four of those in a very healthy and positive state, then you are proactively working towards sustaining your optimal wellness. And that's what we really want for you guys. All right. Thirdly, the reason why we added a fitness and mindfulness program is assisting with developing implementing and sustaining a legitimate wellness routine. Last month, each episode, we were giving you ways on tips on how to implement a wellness routine. We were even encouraging you on there's going to come obstacles and challenges that might throw you off your pedestal, that might discourage you, that might put fear and worry in your path. And we wanted to give additional resources on how you can combat those things. All right, guys. So incorporating a fitness and mindfulness program just adds on to additional resources to help you really develop a wellness routine that works for you and your body. And lastly, the reason why we wanted to add this fitness and mindfulness program is to promote the importance of yoga, Pilates, meditation, and breathwork. These are ancient practices that have been around for centuries. And even though the United States has started to catch on more and more over the last 40 to 50 years on different opportunities for fitness and mindfulness, these practices in Asia and Africa, guys, have been practiced for years and years. You can even go and see like hieroglyphics of individuals doing yoga. You can studying Pilates and studying, like Joseph Pilates is who started Pilates, and that is what Pilates is named after, right? And then you come to yoga and you have all these masters that started in like India and China and Japan and all these other different places that really have honed in and used these practices for centuries. And a lot of these practices are also incorporated into what we were talking about, the blue zones, how individuals are centennials and living to 100 years old or past that. They're incorporating these practices that is giving them life longevity, and not being 100 and being, unable to enjoy life and have peace, but they're still vibrant, talking, walking, driving, dancing, living life in a very peaceful manner. All right, guys. So that is primarily the reason why we're incorporating this fitness and mindfulness program. So we're so excited about it. Now, we want to talk about the Apana Vayu approach. And that might be something new that you've never heard of. If you're into yoga, you might have heard of the 5 Pancha Vayus. And so let's get into it. So Apana Vayu is one of the 5 Pancha Vayus, all right, guys? And these are a concept in yoga philosophy that represent the 5 movements of vital energy within the body. It is a very important pedagogy that you incorporate when you do become a yoga or Pilates teacher or instructor, all right, guys? Now, the Apana Vayu is a vital force that empowers us to relinquish and loosen our grip of control, meaning that you need to be able to hone in on what is hindering you and what is adding value and what is distracting you and what is not positively impacting you. Once we discover those things, this process can be amplified. It also enables us to remove any physical waste that we have in the bodies, any toxins, any emotional burdens. So that could be like trauma from childhood, trauma from a past relationship. If you've been raped, if you've been beat on, if you've been in abusive situations, whether that's from a parent, from a spouse, from a partner, all of those emotional burdens. And then also granting us the opportunity to generate room for transformation and renewal. And I know you're probably thinking, B, we've heard you say this before, and that is absolutely correct. Releasing what no longer serves you so you can make time for what is meant for you, what is meant for you to add value to your life, what is meant for you to fulfill your purpose, and what is meant for you to actually have a peaceful wellness journey in this lifetime. All right, guys. So Apana Vayu also directs the actions of elimination, release, and grounding with our physical and mental being. That means eliminating what's not serving us, eliminating chemicals and toxins in the body, releasing things that are holding on to us that's causing fear and worry to be generated within our body, helping us to ground ourselves. We talked about regrounding and realigning your root chakra, which is your bottom chakra that's more in like your pelvic area. We talked about how you can go outside and reground yourself, going in nature and putting your feet on the ground in the grass, going to the beach and touching the sand, going in water, going to sit out in the forest or going by a mountain and just embodying the energy and the atmosphere. These are all different steps for grounding, but Apana Vayu just adds to that. All right. Now, Apana Vayu also facilitates the downward movement of energy, is letting go and recycling unnecessary energy, and ultimately, again, just letting go of what no longer serves you. It will also aid in the elimination of physical and energetic waste from our system, promoting more balance and harmony. And we've talked about that before. To just even add on to Sexual Health Awareness Month, we talked about being able to cleanse and release from your body when you break up for somebody that brought a lot of trauma to your life. If somebody has cheated on you, if somebody is being verbally or physically abusive towards you, if somebody doesn't know how to respect you properly, those are things that could be harmful to the body. And if you're having sex with this individual, that energy is being transferred into the body and is causing trauma around the womb. So Apanavayu will help you release those energies and release those traumas. We've talked about the foods that you eat, the things that you're putting in your body, your toiletries, your household products, deodorant, face wash, moisturizers, toilet paper, menstrual hygiene products, those things that are adding unwanted chemicals and toxins into the body. Apanavayu is going to help you release those things and get rid of those things in the body so it doesn't lead to further ailment or an impact that will negatively hinder your wellness. All right, guys. Now, when Apana is in balance, we experience a sense of grounding, stability, and clarity. You could just feel your body heating up with such positive energy. You could feel that you can conquer the world and nothing's going to be able to stop you. You can see that your skin is starting to glow. That pain that you might have been experiencing in your joints or in your side is no longer there. If you're an individual that has severe period cramps, you'll notice that your cramps are maybe was for the first 5 days and now you're only getting it on the first day, but not as bad. These are ways that you know that your Apana Vayu is coming into balance. All right. Now, the Apana Vayu is also the energy that's governing the removal of waste in the physical body, operating in the womb, the reproductive area, the genitals, your lower intestines, your colon, your rectum, your kidneys, and your bladder. These are important, vital organs and areas of the body. Not only are they centered around your sacral chakra and your root chakra, which are important, your sacral, because your sacral is what's directly around your womb. All right, guys. And you will notice in our last meditation that we posted, we did a new moon in Virgo for September 24 for period power. And we are realigning that sacral chakra because it's really important because it's right there by your womb and your reproductive areas. But we talked about genitals, that's sexual health. Also, your womb could be affected by. We talked about the lower intestines. The lower intestines is once food has been digested and absorbed, it's starting to push through your body so that it can go out as fecal matter or in your feces, right? And if that food is having trouble to digest in the body, it's staying stored in those intestines. Same thing with your colon, it's staying stored within your colon. So that's why if you pass gas and it's really stinky, it's probably food that's festering that's been stored in your body. If you notice that your breath, you might have bad breath after just brushing your teeth an hour ago, it's because you have things that are festering in your body that are hindering you, that's causing that foul smell to come from without your body. You'll notice your pH balance is off and you'll say, oh, my pH balance is off. Like, let me go take some boric acid capsules. I've been seeing a lot of people do that. I'm totally against boric acid capsules because if you look up what boric acid does for the body, it actually hinders the body more than helping it. So what we could do though is do other alternatives like eating healthy foods, eating colorful foods from all the food groups, eliminating sugar, caffeine, and alcohol, eliminating certain chemicals you're adding in your body, forever chemicals like formaldehyde, PFAs, things of that sort that are in the products that you're using. That will help you to naturally balance out your pH balance. That will naturally help for you to put proper food in your body that your body can actually digest effectively and not leave the stored excess stuck in your stomach. People wonder why the lower bottom half of your belly, in between your belly button and above your genital area, is the hardest fat to get rid of. That visceral stubborn fat is because it's stuck food that was unable to digest properly within the body. All right, guys. We also talked about the rectum, which is, of course, involving the colon and your anal area. So those are things that are important because colon cancer is very real, especially in these United States streets. And they actually just released the World Health Organization and actually in Forbes last week released an article about colon cancer being directly related to diet. There's so many research studies that have gone out to figure out what causes colon cancer, and now they are now admitting that food is directly related to colon cancer, guys. So we have to be mindful of that, all right? And then your kidneys and your bladder. So with your bladder, you want to avoid UTIs. With your kidneys, you want to make sure you're keeping them cleansed and clean because they help with the digestion and absorption of nutrients in the body. But the kidney also holds a lot of disease and a lot of ailments and chemicals. Again, if it's trying to hold all the chemicals and waste that's coming in your body and allowing the nutrients that your body needs to be digested and absorbed, then what happens to the kidney if you're not cleansing that kidney out? It starts to hinder, and then you have problems when your kidney is not proactively working in the body. All right, guys. So Apana is going to help us with all of those things. We want to specifically cater to the womb and the reproductive areas, the genitals, and all of that goodness. But if it can help with everything else that we just talked about, then that can help you prevent other chronic illnesses that are not related to womb wellness. All right, guys. Know that was a mouthful. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with you. Now, navigating to our resource center, we want to give you guys access to all these complimentary resources that we have available for you. We have our blog, book suggestions, our menstrual blood chart, exercise moves to kick Cramp's ass. We have recipes. We have reports. We have research studies that helps to prove how holistic approaches assist with achieving womb wellness. We have wellness tips, wellness referrals, so business organizations and individuals that we would like to refer to you that are our strategic partners, womb terminology. Maybe there's some options that you're not aware of. This can help you out. And lastly, yoga moves to help you kick Cramp's ass. Feel free to take advantage of this complimentary resource. All right, guys, now back to the show. Welcome back from that commercial break. We hope that you enjoyed it. Now let's get into the types of yoga practices that we're going to be offering for you guys. You're probably thinking, wait, there's different types of yoga? Yes, there are so many different types that you can do. So one of the options is going to be vinyasa. Vinyasa is a continuous flow of movement. So we'll be doing like chaturanga dandasanas, strength training. It's going to be helping you focus on your breath. So this is going to be very, very powerful for you because it's going to help you improve your breath work techniques. It's going to help you to know when to inhale, when to exhale, when to fill the body up in air, when to release it, when to go ahead and cleanse and restore and things of that matter. So we're so excited about that. We're also going to be doing different types of yin yoga. Yin, Y-I-N, like yin and yang. So yin yoga is very meditative. Again, this is going to be helping you improve your meditation skills. And I feel like that's very powerful for us at this time with us incorporating breathwork and meditation into this fitness and mindfulness program. It's also going to help us focusing on connective tissue. So that's your joints, your ligaments, bones, and fascia. So guys, if you're experiencing wrist problems, knee problems, back problems, ankle problems, things of that sort, we'll be able to help you guys with those options. And then when you're on your cycle, you tend to have more joint issues. You might noticing that your muscles are sore. You might notice your ligaments are a little bit sore. Your bones might feel cracky and achy or whatnot. And so we want to be able to assist with that. Now, also with yin, you're going to be doing a lot of stretching. So stretching the muscles, allowing them to heal, especially if you're going to be doing other routines throughout the week, like HIIT training or weightlifting or running and things of that sort. Stretching is going to be really good with restoring those muscles and actually helping with toning the body for you as well. It's also going to be lengthening muscles. So giving the fact of if you're not moving and you're just kind of stagnant, then those muscles loses their functionality. And you'll notice that, it's harder for you to walk once you get to a certain age, or once you gain a certain amount of weight, it might be difficult to do certain things. I noticed that when I was classified as a morbidly obese person, that it became difficult to do a lot of things. I know in my book, Energy's Formula to Kick Cramp's Ass, blueprints to naturally get rid of menstrual cramps, I know that in the book I discuss about what size I had got to. I was over 200 pounds and things were difficult for me. And I don't want that to be taken out of context like, oh, I'm body shaming or I'm talking down on anybody that's overweight. I'm just letting you know what worked for me. Once I became overweight, walking in heels was not it. My ankles were shot. My knees, no. My wrist, no. Everything was hard. My knees cracked. It was just hard for me to move around because my body was not used to having almost 220 odd pounds on it when I had been 120 most of my life. It was almost 100 pounds more than what I was used to carrying. And it was just difficult for me to maneuver. And even though I tried to get used to it, it didn't work for me. So I had to find alternatives to lose the weight and get rid of those ailments because I already had a long list of chronic illnesses that I had already been diagnosed with. And then I was continually adding on to those factors. And those are things that I don't want you to have to go through. I want to be able to give you alternatives, and not saying that you can't be considered quote unquote overweight or obese and not be healthy. I'm not saying that, but we are being mindful that obesity is the gateway drug to all the chronic illnesses. So therefore, if you are overweight or obese, it could open up the doors to other ailments that you are not going to want or undesirable. So we want to just help you prevent or eliminate those factors. And also mobility purposes, yin yoga helps you to have more mobility to get around and do the things that you need to do. After I had initially lost all my weight and I got back down into the 120s, realized I really didn't like that size. I just felt like really frail, I guess, after having all that weight on me. So I just wanted to do more muscle building and toning. And I noticed that when I first started working out, I couldn't do a lunge. I couldn't go into like a regular lunge for working out. I couldn't do a traditional yoga lunge. It was just really bad on my knees. And it was really embarrassing that I couldn't do that, being that I was a former athlete. I've done cheerleading, I've done track, basketball, volleyball, boxing, and I just could not do certain things that I had become accustomed to doing a whole bunch. And it took some time, but with yin yoga and with restorative yoga, it assisted me with rebuilding those muscles and the ligaments around the knees. It helped with the joint areas. And I actually had a knee injury from track when I was younger that once I gained a significant amount of weight, it bothered me so bad, especially when I got really cold or during the winter months. It was excruciating pain in my knees, and I don't feel that anymore. I have none of that sensation. Even if I feel like a little twinge in my knee, I know like, okay, it's time to go wrap it the next couple times you do yoga. Shout out to my spouse. My spouse put me on with when we go swim or we go work out in the pool to walk backwards in the pool in that water, and it helps to restore it. And that actually works. Walking backwards in the pool, maybe 2 to 4 laps has been very helpful. Going to go get on a treadmill and walking on an incline backwards, walking backwards, just standing up straight in the living room. You could be watching TV and just kind of just doing it a little bit. Those things are helpful, and it has been mindful. All right, guys, another form of yoga that we will be offering is restorative yoga. It's for relaxation, stress reduction, rejuvenation. It also will help you rest through slower movements, and we're going to hold those positions for an extended amount of time. And that is real restorative yoga. So you may have a restorative yoga session that could realistically be maybe 30 minutes long, but you might only realistically do about 4 to 5 movements, if that, because again, you're holding these positions in these moves for longer periods of time. So like, let's say we do a 30-minute session, we might do 5 positions that you hold roughly 6 minutes, or maybe even 5 minutes a piece, giving us 25 minutes, 5 times 5, and then leaving 5 minutes for like a shavasana or a cool down session or something along those lines. All right. And then the last type of yoga that we're going to be offering is Kriyas. And this is one that you don't hear a lot. Is more popular in the yogi world, is very popular in like India and other Asian countries. But Kriyas is all about purification. It's all about boosting your immunity system. It's all about healing the body internally and externally, spiritual awakening, and it's about growth in all areas of your life, primarily mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. All right, guys. So we're so excited about introducing Kriyas into the mix. Now let's talk about different types of Pilates practices. So again, yoga and Pilates are two totally different practices, but we're incorporating both of them into our Pilates for Periods program. So with Pilates, we're going to do 3 different types. We're going to do mat, which is mainly body weight and traditional approach to doing Pilates. So it's going to be a lot of mat work, tabletop positions like hands and knees, sitting on your bottom, cross-legged positions, things of that sort. We'll stand up and do things every once in a while, but primarily you'll be on the mat. Our second form of Pilates will be HIIT training, so high intensity interval training. And you might think, I thought that was only with traditional exercising or working out. Nope, we can do HIIT training with Pilates as well. So it'll be cardio workout with bursts and breaks in between. So for an example, we might do a series of 3 Pilates moves, 30 seconds a piece. We'll do one move for 30 seconds, the second move for 30 seconds, the third move for 30 seconds. In between those 30 seconds, we'll have a 10 to 15 second break. So we'll do one move for 30 seconds, take 10 to 15 seconds. We'll move on to the second move, do it for 30 seconds. Then we'll take another 10 to 15 second break. Then we'll do the third move for 30 seconds. And then we'll do another 10 to 15 second break. But then we're going to repeat all 3 of those moves again in that same order with the same amount of time of how long we do the actual move and the breaks in between. Once we then finish that second round, we'll then do a 30-second break, and then we'll move on to another set of 3 moves and repeat that same process over and over. Sometimes it'll be 2 moves, sometimes it'll be 3, sometimes it'll be 5. Sometimes the workouts might be 10 minutes, sometimes they might be 30 minutes. It just depends on what's going on for that week. All right, guys? And then the last form of Pilates that we'll be doing is contemporary Pilates, which is a combination of Pilates moves with exercise. So this may include equipment like weights, or using blocks, using like medicine balls or like the workout ball that you can sit on. We'll incorporate more of an exercise routine with the Pilates movements. All right, guys? So now that we talked about the different types of yoga and Pilates techniques that we'll be introducing to you guys and incorporating into our Pilates for Periods program, we're going to talk about the content that will be available in a variety of options that we're going to offer it. So we're going to offer content by duration. With the duration, you're either going to have 5 to 10 minute workouts, which will be what we'll consider express, like something you could do when you first get up before you can go to work, something you could do on your lunch break, something you could do in the evenings before you go to bed. And then we'll also have like traditional workouts, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45, and 60. All right. So at first we're going to start off roughly with 20 minutes and under. Then we'll continue to add on like 30-minute options, 45 and 60. We'll build up to that. 45 and 60, we want that intermediate and advanced levels, but we're also going to offer beginner options as well, because as you start building your stamina, as you start getting more consistent in your workout routine, we want you to be able to have other options that's just not 5 and 10 minutes as well. All right. Now, another way we're going to offer our workout routines is by your by your menstrual cycle phase. Yay. This is where we get into the period portion. All right. So we're either going to have workouts that's designated just for while you're on your actual menstruation phase. All right. So while you're menstruating, we're going to have low intensity workouts. It's primarily only going to be yoga. It's going to be a lot of restorative positions, things to make you more comfortable, to help relieve the pain that you may be experiencing, helping you balance those hormones. If you're having bloating or any type of discomfort, we're going to be working at it throughout this actual menstruation phase. And then moves catering to prevent those symptoms. All right, guys. And then we're going to have our follicular phase playlist, and that's going to be high energy and more intense movements. You just coming off your cycle, you got a burst of energy, you feel like I need to be able to burn off this energy. So that's where you will have more of those Pilates, contemporary, where we're having more of those exercise movement. You're going to see HIIT workouts during this time, that high intensity interval training. You're going to have a lot of cardio options, sculpting, and sculpting is more for toning. So when you're ready for summer body, winter body, you're going on vacation, your birthday's coming up, you have a life event coming up, and you just want to do more sculpting and toning, then we'll have those options for you. We'll have barre options, which is more of a dancer's type style of Pilates. And a lot of these movements will be intermediate to advanced movements. All right, guys. Moving on to the next menstrual phase opportunity that we will offer, it will be ovulation. We want to avoid over intensifying the body. We know that we just had a burst of energy these last maybe 7 days or so, 7 to 10 days, and we want to ensure that we're not overworking the body. So during the ovulation phase, we will incorporate Pilates and yoga combos to give you opportunities to pick and choose what you would like to do. It will be a lot of low impact workouts and a lot of beginner workouts. And it's going to be a lot of workouts to make you feel good, to make you feel like everything's okay as you're going through this specific phase. Now, during the ovulation phases within a menstruator's menstrual cycle phases, this is typically the time that you feel more sexy. You are feeling like you are ready to pounce on somebody. If you're in the process of wanting to get pregnant, this is the time that you want to try to get pregnant. So you might have more sexual activities going on. You might have more physical activities in that realm, and that could be still considered exercising, guys, whether you want to believe it or not. So you just don't want to do too much when it comes to the actual workout routines you're doing in that 2 to 3 day period. All right. And then our last menstrual cycle phase we have is the luteal phase. And this is typically rest and recovery. Strictly yoga only will be offered for this opportunity of this playlist. It will be a lot of stretching and flexibility, a lot of restorative moves, and then moves catering to prevent or eliminate any PS symptoms that might be coming on, because this is going to be one of the last phases you hit before that menstruation comes back into play. All right, guys. Now, our next playlist of how we will have things set up is by your experience level. So we will also break down videos for beginners, intermediate, and advanced. We're also going to have a playlist for challenges, because throughout the year, we'll offer different challenges to encourage a more consistent yoga routine. And this could be a challenge where, hey, maybe we do it for 3 days and we want to have you do a meditation for 5 minutes in the morning. You're going to do a 15-minute yoga routine before the day is over with. And then before you go to bed, you're going to incorporate a night meditation or breath work. It will be a challenge along those lines to encourage you to start developing your own wellness routine and seeing what works for you. Is it better for you to meditate longer in the morning and shorter in the evening? Or is it that you meditate short in the morning and then you have a more in-depth one in the evening? So just figuring those things out, and then figuring out what yoga and Pilates moves works best for you and things that you can start incorporating into your own routine. And then lastly, we'll have a playlist for workouts only. So beginning in 2025, we will offer weekly workout plans dedicated to your period. So this will assist you in holding your own self accountable to work out multiple times per week, and in an effort to achieve optimal womb wellness. All right, guys. So that means beginning in 2025, you'll be able to log into our Pilates for Periods channel, and we'll have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 of each month. And if that month happens to have 5 weeks, we'll incorporate a 5th week. But we'll make sure that we have a workout routine for you for the week, not a full 7-day. It will either be 5 days or 6 days, but something that you could do every single day to start building your own wellness routine. All right, guys. So we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with you. Welcome to kickcrampsass.org. Now, feel free to subscribe and get 15% off. By doing so, you're subscribing to our newsletter and you receive the latest news, resources, and updates. We appreciate you for connecting with us, so we want to get you with 15% off on your first order. So go ahead and leave your first name, your last name, and your email address, and you'll have this 50% off coupon that you can use towards your first order. Now, back to the show. Welcome back from that commercial break. We hope that you guys enjoyed it. Now to recap, we talked today about Pilates for Periods. In honor for Yoga Awareness Month, we have launched our fitness and mindfulness program, and we're so excited about it, coming out with workout routines on Womb Wellness Wednesdays. We're going to have those meditations coming out for Flow Fridays, also for new moons and full moons, different breathwork opportunities as well. So we're so excited about that. That launched back on September 1st. 2024. So as of right now, we have a 5 yoga and Pilates positions that you can do to help relieve period pain video up. And we also have our new moon in Virgo September 2024 meditation video up. And this upcoming week, we're going to be releasing an actual workout routine for you that's going to be about 20 minutes long. That's going to help you with period pain. And we have a full moon coming up on the 17th. So we'll be having our full moon meditation up very soon for you guys. All right. Now, we are still accepting listeners' mail, so feel free to comment on this episode. If you would like a more personalized or intimate approach, you can email us at contact@kickcrampsass.org, which will be listed in the description of this episode. But if there's not anything else, we hope that you gain ample information about our program, why yogas and Pilates is important for your period, why meditation and breath work will be important for your period as well. Be sure to like this episode, share it with somebody that you feel that can resonate. Also be sure to like it and go ahead and subscribe to our website where you can get not only a 15% off coupon towards our KCA store, but you'll be able to keep up with the latest news, events, and resources that we have going on. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channels. We have KCA, Kick Cramp Sass, where it has additional content in addition to what we offer on this podcast, but we now also have our Pilates for Periods YouTube channel, and we'll put the information for both of those channels in the description of this episode. But if there's not anything else, guys, we want to send gratitude to all of you for tuning in on this good old Menstruation Monday. All right, guys, and we want to manifest a positive, productive, and peaceful menstrual cycle journey ahead, a Menstruation Monday ahead, and have a great week and month, guys. And until next Menstruation Monday, peace.